Sixers fans, what's going on? There's a nothing going on in the NBA right now, but at the same time, there is a ton going on in the NBA right now. Kevin Durant, everything going on there. He's asking to be traded. Whether or not he gets traded and gets exactly what he wants, we will only know. That's going to be only time will tell that one. Kyrie Irving, same thing. If he stays, if he goes, what's going on there in Brooklyn? Brooklyn seems like a dumpster fire. Ben Simmons recently deactivates his Instagram, which is clearly the most important thing to him. So I wonder what he's going through right now. You know what? I hope he's happy by the end of the day. I just hope he's a happy guy. I don't wish sadness upon anyone. And knowing how much his Instagram probably meant to him, he's probably going through it right now. So T's and P's off to Ben Simmons, man. But let's talk about the Sixers real quick because a lot of people say we're probably done. Chances are we're probably done, but some sources close to me are saying that there's a reason why James Harden has not inked that extension yet because there's possible outcomes and deals on the horizon. Let's get into it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the family, the community, do the whole kit and caboodle. Go follow my Twitter. It's at Sixers Greg. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. My Twitter is far better than my sub-average YouTube page, so it's worth the follow if you're on Twitter. Why not hit the follow button? Let's get into it. I think there is a real possibility of Kyrie Irving joining the Philadelphia 76ers, and I say that because maybe Harden and Irving were not the problem in Brooklyn. Maybe there was something bigger. Maybe there was something deeper in that organization that made all three of these guys want to leave. Because as soon as Harden leaves, Harden was apparently the problem in Brooklyn, and now Kevin Durant wants out. Kyrie Irving signed, but I just don't think he's going to be there in the long run, especially if Kevin Durant's traded. My personal beliefs on this whole Brooklyn Nets situation is that Kevin Durant will stay with the team because they simply will not be able to find something that's worth getting. And that's really interesting to think of and see where the Nets head into the season because it might be like the Ben Simmons situation, which would just be simply insane. Holding on to a player who does not want to be there. Granted, KD would 99% chance play, but still there is that 0.01% of KD sitting out because he simply does not want to be in Brooklyn. And then that just the player empowerment at that point is just far too much. We're going to address that in the upcoming CBA agreement, and there's going to be a lot. Hopefully we don't head towards a lockout, but at this point I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lockout. But to talk about Kyrie Irving, I have seen rumors of Russell Westbrook being traded to the Brooklyn Nets in exchange for Kyrie Irving. And now LA was like, you know what? We want Seth Curry instead of Joe Harris. And they're kind of seeming to want to demand more, which to me is wild because Russell Westbrook is just not a good player. He's not a winning player. His contract is $47 million, which is $10 more million than Tobias Harris of the Philadelphia 76ers. And I know his years are one less than Tobias Harris, but I do believe that there is a scenario in which Tobias Harris and Matisse Thybulle can be traded straight up for Kyrie Irving. And I think there is a possibility of that. And I'm one to say that I'm not against it. I'm really not against that idea because I believe that Kyrie Irving starting next to Harden, it worked in Brooklyn. I mean, as little as they played together, they still were a very, very good team when they did. And the idea of Tyrese Maxey coming off of the bench and giving us, starter minutes like Tyler Hero, but giving us 20 plus a night as a microwave go-to bench scorer would be, I mean, a dream come true. I think a lot of us believe in Tyrese Maxey's sixth-man ability, but the Sixers and their roster construction won't allow that. But I also believe that I want Tyrese Maxey to be given every single opportunity to grow and become a better player, and I still believe that is possible with him coming off the bench and averaging the exact same amount of minutes as he would starting. I'm not saying let's give him a smaller role because that's not at all what I'm saying here, but I believe that there is a possibility of Maxey giving us 30 plus minutes a night off the bench and just being the best bench player in the entire NBA. It would solidify our bench a lot better, and only trading Tobias Harris, a guy who to me is just the odd man out on this roster right now. He doesn't fit in the Sixers roster. He doesn't make this team better. It would be an addition by subtraction simply, and bringing in a Kyrie Irving guy who is still one of the premier players in the NBA, despite all of his issues off the court and on the court at times. I think Kyrie Irving is a buy low candidate. And that's only the reason I would do it. It's a buy low opportunity that I think would be a high reward It's a low risk, high reward type of move. Matisse Thybulle is finding his way out of the rotation, I think, sooner rather than later. Though I think there is a spot for him on the team right now, it would be a much smaller spot as it would have been last year. And Tobias Harris, like I've said a million times, just does not fit here. And a starting lineup of Kyrie, Harden, a small forward, and then PJ Tucker and Embiid. I mean, that's pretty elite. I think the Sixers would instantly become arguably a title contender favorite. And I think if the Sixers have the ability to go out there and make that move for Kyrie Irving, you probably have to do it. And I'm not a Kyrie Irving fan. I don't believe in him as a individual. And I think he has a very hard time of just sticking to basketball, but it could be type of a redemption type of season for him. And if it was never him or Harden's problem, I think there would be a real possibility of Kyrie coming over into Philadelphia and kind of excelling in his opportunity and chance. And I think playing with the big man alongside Joel Embiid would be the best he's ever played with in his entire career. And I think it would really show for his PNR ability and just ability to score off the dribble. Him and Harden would be a fantastic duo. It has been a fantastic duo. And I'm not going to sit here and say let's recreate the Brooklyn Nets, but put Embiid there. But I think it's a very, very buy low type of value deal that would just mean a lot for the Philadelphia 76ers in the long term. And I think there's a realm of possibility that something happens. I don't think it's any coincidence that James Harden has not, inked that extension yet. I am not too afraid of him not re-signing. I'm almost 100% sure he will re-sign and he will be a Sixer come the beginning of the season. But at the same time, there's something going on. If not, he would have re-signed that deal by now. So whether it's Kyrie, whether it's them still trying to finagle a deal for Kevin Durant, in which I would be questionable of, there is something that's going to happen in the Philadelphia 76ers front office relatively soon. I'm just going to be sitting here and waiting just like the rest of you. I'll let you know when my sources come out and say stuff. Until then, guys, peace.